gotta turn this whole thing into like the individual movie reviews and then the full segment because this is story time. Anyway, so after watching Butterfly Effect 2, I watched Mimic. Is another series on HBO Max that I know that there's sequels. Like, again, I'm really into watching movies like where it's a series of unnecessary sequels. Now, I haven't seen Mimic 2 or 3 yet. I don't know anything about them. But I know that they're there, and that made me want to watch the first one. So I watched Mimic. Okay? So I watched Mimic. Now, okay? This movie, not bad. It's not bad. Now, there's a lot of things in it that I question. There's a lot of plot that's like... Alright, so, Mimic. You might not know what this is. Okay. So, cockroaches are, like, killing kids or something, right? They've got, like, a disease in them, and there's a pandemic, and the CDC... Very realistic CDC, by the way, in this movie. None of the CDC officials wear masks anywhere. So, very realistic, right? They all do the worst things possible in containing the pandemic, right? That tracks with the real world. So the CDC is inept and garbage in this movie, and that's the core concept of the plot. So anyway, so the cockroaches are killing kids or something, I guess. And so what does the CDC do? Oh, they have a great idea. Let's use gene splicing. Now, this movie was made in, I think, like 97 or some shit. So, like, that was cool in the 1990s. Oh, we're going to splice genes. So they make, like, a super bug that, like, kills all the cockroaches or something. But it's, like, they kind of do, like, what they did in, like, Jurassic Park. Where it's like, oh, we're going to make all the bugs female so that they can't, like, breed or whatever. But then they do anyway, because, you know, why not? So anyway, so they release these super bugs that are designed to die out after one generation because they supposedly can't breed. They kill the cockroaches, they end the pandemic. Great. That's the first 10 minutes. Then there's 3 years later. And some, like, old guy is, like, jumping off a roof being chased by some dude in a trench coat. But wait, the dude in the trench coat is actually a bug. He's a giant human-sized bug, and that's the point of the movie. Now, again, I just want to say, okay, now, this might sound weird, but I'm going to start this with this. Right away, after the old guy jumps off the roof, the next characters to die are kids. Any movie that kills kids, I'm in. It doesn't matter anything else about the movie. None of it matters. If a movie kills kids, I like it. Now, let me explain, okay? Hold on. I know, don't take this out of context, okay? Hear me out. Let me drink some seltzer here. All right. So then kids find this bug and, like, show it to, like, the bug lady who made the super bug or whatever. And then she's like, oh, shit, this looks like the bug I made 3 years ago. What the fuck? That's crazy. Right? And then she asks the kids, like, where they found it. And the kids go look for more. And then the mimics end up killing the kids. I was shocked. I'm not going to lie to you. I was shocked. Okay? Like, you don't see that often in movies, and that's why I say any movie that kills kids, I'm into it because it's bold, right? It's they're not caring. A lot of movies really the kid always survives. Every time that there's like a slasher movie, the kids are fine, right? Like, so any movie where the kids die, and especially the kids are like the first victims, like the kids die in like the 25-minute mark or something, right? Like, so I'm like, oh shit, I'm in. Okay. So they're in the subway and like they're looking for the bugs, and then the mimics kill the kids. It's great. So like in a way, right, the bug lady kind of got kids killed, right? Like, you know, not only for creating the bug in the first place, but then telling them to go look for more bugs, right? So anyway, so the kids get killed, but then they, you know, the CDC people, because the lady works for the CDC. And her husband also works for the CDC or whatever. So they're on like a tag team mission to go look for these bugs, right? And then they go deep in the like abandoned parts of the New York subway. and try to look for bugs, and then they find them, they get stuck down there. It's a classic kind of stuff like that. Very simple. Now I want to say that there's a lot of combination between practical and CG effects in this movie. And the CG looks kind of bad, but the practical looks pretty good. And so, whatever. But there's this one scene, like the first scene where the mimic, like, you see the full body of the mimic. Like, it goes from, like, some dude in a trench coat to, like, a big-ass super bug. Wow. That shit was horrible. Like, I'm just saying, like, the effects were terrible. But I was into it. Like, again, I like bad effects. I'm super into it. I prefer practical. For me, like, almost 100% of the time, I'm into practical, right? Like, if every movie banned CG, I would be okay with that. I think practical effects are superior in every fashion. That said, bad CG is fine, whatever, it's all good. So anyway, so the superbugs basically are infesting this underground subway, and the CDC people are like, oh shit, they're gonna get tracked over all across the country from all these, like, subway train tracks, all whatever, okay. So they try to kill them all. They try to do, like, I don't even know what their plan is. Their plan really is just to get the fuck out of the subway. So, like, they don't really have a plan to kill them. Their plan is just to fucking get the fuck out of the subway because they get trapped down there. So that's really the whole movie, is, like, dodging these guys and trying to get the fuck out. And so, they do that, right? They get out. They save a lost kid who's in the subway, too. That's another plot point. And then, like, one of the guys, like, sets the whole there's, like, a gas pipe in this abandoned underground subway, and he sees a bunch of eggs and mimics, so he's like, let me just crack open this gas pipe with a pipe, like, with another, like, a lead pipe sitting on the floor, and then, like, explode. Like, he, like, creates a spark and explodes. Somehow he survives. Now, I just want to say, I don't know. I don't know how the fuck he survived. What he did was he released natural gas, right? Natural gas, right? It's not natural, but anyway. Well, I mean, everything is natural. The word doesn't mean anything, but anyway. Into this underground subway, right? And then, like smashes, like, something on the floor, like, creates, like, a spark. And somehow, like, then the entire underground subway and the subway itself blows up. Somehow he survived. I don't know how. I don't, like, it's a movie, right? It's like, it's not real, and this was all made up. Like, someone wrote down a movie. This is not based on real events at all. So I guess it's okay if he survived. I mean, it's, mimics and, like, these giant bugs also don't exist, right? So whatever. But anyway, the scene where he blows up the underground subway to kill the mimics, right? Anyway, all the manholes across New York City have, like, fire erupt out of them, and, like, the whole city, like, looks like it got hit by a terror attack, where, like, manholes are flying. Or, like, cars that are driving on the street, like, over manholes, like, get blown up into the air and fly all over the fucking... Like, great job. You killed a bunch of people above ground, but also you killed all the mimics. So, trolley problem kind of stuff. Anyway, the movie is okay. It's like, it's like a slasher kind of stuff, but, like, with a non-human opponent. It's good. I'm into it. I know that there's sequels. I'm probably going to watch the sequel, so I'll report back on if they're unnecessary or, I hope they're not like Butterfly Effect 2, but also part of me hopes they're like Butterfly Effect 2. So, there you go. Mimic. It's good. It's good. I'm into it, so there you go.